BoogeyMan band coming round the bend. Is BoogeyMan band. Is BoogeyMan band.
Greetings, my fellow Freddy fiends, and thanks so much for dropping by the Horror Zone channel. I hope everyone's doing well. This is a video that I really wasn't planning on doing, and I think it just has to do with the fact that my heart is kind of broken when I talk about this franchise. This is a franchise that I've been a fan of going back to 2001, and just what's happened to it since the third picture came out in 2017 has just sort of made it seem like this is just something that is unfixable, that they'll never really get this franchise back on track. But today I wanted to do something to pay respect to the second film in the franchise, which is going to be celebrating its 20th anniversary release on August the 29th. It came out in 2003 on Labor Day weekend. Of course, I'm talking about Jeepers Creepers 2. Now, this is a very special film to me. Initially, I used to have problems with a lot of the cast in it, and there are still a couple of them that irritate me, but since we've kind of gotten screwed out of ever getting a great sequel to this film, this film has become more popular with me. I've grown to really like this film. And I think what works about this film is it's a change in direction from what the first film was. In the first film, you have a very kind of personal story between brother and sister who are traveling home from college and get stalked by the creeper. In this one, you have a busload of kids coming back from a basketball game, and it just their bus is sabotaged during the last few days of the creeper's feeding cycle. Then you also have a vengeful father hunting the creeper down over the creeper killing his son. The more that I watch this film, the more I just respect everything that went into it. And I love everybody involved in this, specifically Ray Wise and Jonathan Breck. Both of them are fantastic in it, Ray Wise being Jack Taggart, and of course Jonathan Breck stepping back into the creeper role, this time being a much more mobile creeper. He doesn't have the truck in this one. He's flying around and picking off his victims like a bat out of hell, which is a tagline for the film. And seeing it opening weekend, I was a couple months away from getting married. My wife and I were engaged at the time, planning our wedding, and we went opening night with my future brother-in-law and mother-in-law, and I had a blast. I loved where this film went, especially towards the end of it. I felt like it really set up a great third film. And the fact that that's never came to be really just breaks my heart. After, what happened with last year's Jeepers Creepers Reborn, which I have talked about, that I do have it on DVD, and I did do a review of it last year if people want to check it out. I was pretty heartbroken seeing it. It was embarrassing in some spots. The new depiction of the creeper was absolutely horrible, and I even said in my review, no disrespect to Jaru Benjamin, but he has nothing on Jonathan Breck. There was no presence. There was nothing. He was just a man in a costume. And the fact that I didn't think Timo Varensola was a very good director. I just felt like there was some moments that looked really good and gothic, and then it was just ruined by horrible green screen. Just took everything away from it. And the fact that the truck is featured so prominently here on the cover, and it's in the movie for like 2 minutes. The way that they used it was just absolutely pathetic. It just didn't make any sense. So yeah, it's a film that I haven't revisited since seeing it in the theater last September. I have really no desire to ever watch it again, and my fear is that the next film in this franchise will be a sequel to this, which is separate from the other three films. It is something that exists in its own universe, so we were lied to by the production company when it was first announced that this was going to be a sequel to Part 2. It was going to involve Taggart, the Taggart barn, the creeper was going to wake up. All of these things that were going to happen, that possibly some characters from the original films were going to be in it. And it was, you find out at the beginning when they do this weird retelling of Part 1 with this married couple, older married couple, one of them played by Dee Wallace, that, it's like, oh, this is an urban legend. It was told in movies and they got it wrong and all this stuff, and this whole thing with Horror Hound. It was just very generic. And the production company lied to fans like us that have kept this franchise going despite the controversy. So, yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of bittersweet for me to talk about this film, because I remember how excited I was when this came out, and that I've been disappointed for the last 20 years because we never got a proper sequel. And I'm kind of thinking it's never going to happen, but I could be wrong. But I wanted to do something to pay respect to this film. Happy anniversary, 20 years to Jeepers Creepers 2. Hopefully the franchise will get back on track, but I really am not that confident that it will. So curious what everybody else thinks about this franchise. Curious if people actually enjoyed Jeepers Creepers Reborn. Like I said, I like the first 3 films, despite the shortcomings of part 3. But linear, in terms of storytelling, the first 2 are the best. And there's only hope that maybe we will get a good film one day. Yeah, it's kind of a bummer. And I think that's why it might be a while before I talk about this franchise again, unless we get something announced or some new film is coming out. But if they're just going to make a direct sequel to Jeepers Creepers Reborn, that's not going to be one that I check out. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope everyone's doing well, and I'll talk to you again real soon. Take it easy. Stay scared as always. Peace. Hey fellow Fright Fiends, just want to say thank you again for supporting BoogeyMan Ben's Horror Zone. If you're brand new to the channel and you haven't yet subscribed, please hit the subscribe button down below, hit the bell notification so you're updated every time I drop a new video. I typically do this once or twice a week with new content. I've been doing this for over 11 years, and the horror genre is a passion of mine, and it really means a lot to me that I can share that passion with all of you guys. Thanks so much again for the support, and I'll talk to you again later. Take it easy, stay scared as always.